Camp Keepalive Endless Summer is a turn-based strategy game steeped in 1980s horror where you command a team of camp counselors striving to rescue dim-witted campers while monsters prowl the night. Greetings Earthlings, KDB here for a little spooky season game review. It is of course the best time of year and I've been having a wonderful time with some horror games these past few weeks. I'm attempting to return to regular content here on the channel, so if you like what you see and hear, please don't forget to subscribe. With that said, let's get right into it. Developed by Porch Weather Games duo Joel Haddock and Chris Klimas, this retro-style slasher dodger feels like it would be right at home on the Commodore 64 or among the early days of PC gaming. Endless Summer is an updated version of a previously released game loaded with new features to enhance the experience. Along with winks and nods to horror tropes of old, the game sets the stage early and continues to develop the more levels you play. As someone with plenty of nostalgia for 80s horror and throwback games, I didn't need much convincing to try it out when the game code was offered for review, kindly provided by the devs. Even the name instantly got me thinking of Sleepaway Camp, that bonkers 1983 slasher movie which spawned a number of questionable sequels and a cult following and the influence for one of my favourite bands of all time, CKY. So how is it? Starting with the gameplay, once you're dropped in the tutorial level, if you've played a grid turn-based game before, you'll find yourself at home pretty swiftly. You control a group of 4 counsellors and must move across the camp map, utilising their limited actions smartly, move in a certain direction, leave a trap, or use their unique ability. When a counsellor makes contact with a wandering camper, they will stick by their side and you must lead that camper back to the safety of the log cabin. There's just one big problem. As the turns cycle, not only do the campers wander around like lost bumbling idiots, but the maps fill with masked killers, wolfmen, toxic monsters, clowns and more. Once a monster enters the same square as a camper or counsellor, it's night-night, and if too many perish, the level is over. As the name suggests, the levels continue endlessly, so you can keep playing for as long as you like, and you'll earn badges along the way for hitting quotas of rescued campers and other objectives. Like a couple of levels where you have to make sure the visiting camp inspector doesn't get slaughtered or witness the death of anyone else, because that would be a real admin headache, you see. Starting with 4 counsellors, there are many more to unlock, and each of them comes with a unique ability, such as being able to take an extra action, carry more traps, entice campers to your square, and even use offensive skills. Like Ashley, who is a must-have for your team, who is able to kill any monster she steps into the square of. While the loop is simple, it is incredibly addictive, and it wasn't long before it had its hooks in me. My son even watched me play a few times and instantly recognised the objective, desperate for me to rescue the hapless victims. As the levels go on, there's a few surprises in store to keep you on your toes, new monsters, impassable terrain, and VIP campers that you absolutely must rescue, even if it means sacrificing one of your colleagues. There's some RNG at play as well, so monsters and enemies will start in different positions every time you start a map. The movement of the campers is random, but the monsters are a little bit more focused on hunting people down, whether that's a specific camper or a counsellor. The RNG does sometimes feel frustrating, but never to the point that I felt cheated out of my incredibly well thought out plans. You do need to keep your wits about you, doing everything you can not to remain exposed, thinking a few steps ahead, and I highly recommend having Pierce on your team because that extra action that he has feels priceless on basically every single level. Some of the levels do ramp up the difficulty by throwing larger amounts of enemies at you or an extra objective as mentioned, but these were rewarding to overcome, and the next level often toned things down a little bit while introducing something new, allowing you to get your bearings. I've not filled the quotas on every single level, but I've had a go at all of them. I've unlocked all the counsellors and the monsters even though I haven't beaten the final boss yet. It's still feeling addictive, still feeling fresh, and I'm not done with it. It's a game I can see myself continue to play because that loop is so addictive. It's probably not going to have you jumping out of your seat, but there is tension that comes from desperately trying to manage your actions before those damn clowns entice another victim away from your carefully coordinated movements. You do need to think a few steps ahead for your whole team, and whenever I found my counsellors or campers wiped out, it did feel like it was my fault rather than the game being too punishing. As for presentation, the pixel art aesthetic enhances the charm massively, and the retro style sent me back to the late nights in the mid-90s where games like Worms and Command & Conquer kept me up to the early hours of the morning. The UI is really simple, you won't get lost in menus or skill trees or anything like that. Everything is on screen at all times, you just have to look around you, make your move and make it wisely. The devs have made really superb use of the screen and the stripped back graphics, with diverse terrain, menacing trees, monsters evoking those iconic looks, the lemming-like nature of the campers, and each counsellor having their own personality. It's accompanied by a bouncy chiptune soundtrack which keeps you moving and enhances the tension with the lower tempo sequences. Before you dive into each map, there's a descriptor of the setting and any unique objectives, and just like the tutorial stage and other text boxes around the game, there are plenty of meta references and humour. The game really knows what it's lampooning, and it makes the experience all the more textured if you're a horror fan. It's a horror game in a similar way that Cabin in the Woods is a horror movie. We've all been to these woods before and our guard is up. There's also some options to add a CRT filter to the screen, which gives it even more of a retro feel. As mentioned earlier, it should be noted that this game is an updated new version of a title previously released in 2013. I've not played that old version, but I understand that this one comes with plenty of new additions with monsters, levels, graphics and polish, etc. I did encounter one bug a few times, which was really weird. The initial action made by counsellors wasn't recognised, meaning I ended up with an extra action. And I don't really want to complain because it kind of worked to my advantage, but I found myself with this spare action that I might have used differently. This was only one small bug though, and it didn't dampen my experience. To wrap things up, in an era where games like Balatro, Ball X-Pit and Vampire Survivors have taken up so much of my gaming time recently, whether that's on my console or on my mobile phone, Camp Keepalive offers a similar pick up and play type addictive scenario. It doesn't ask too much of you from the get-go, and the whole idea clicks into place very quickly while teasing you with new things the more you play. It's even got a create your own map option, which is pretty cool. There's plenty of strategy and depth if you want to keep going into the later levels and play endlessly. It fully leans into the tropes of 80s horror, having fun with the themes and keeping you on your toes with the action. It's far more than a bit of nostalgia, and if you want to throw another seasonal dish into your platter this autumn and spooky season, I do fully recommend it. A mobile version would be very welcome too. I need to rescue these campers on my lunch break at work, or while I'm on the toilet. Thank you so much for watching this review. As mentioned, I'm doing a bit of a relaunch of my YouTube channel, so please do subscribe if you liked what you heard, and even if you didn't, give the video a like as well. All the things you're supposed to do on the internet. I will be back soon talking more gaming and talking more nonsense. Until then, stay safe and see you next time.